When it comes to your car's maintenance and longevity, nothing matters more than motor oil. It keeps engine parts moving, cuts down friction, reduces wear, and helps prevent overheating. Without it, your engine wouldn't last long. But here's the problem. Bad advice is everywhere. Some people swear thicker oil stops leaks. Others think synthetic oil ruins old engines. But guess what? That's not how it works. Today, we're cutting through the noise and exposing the biggest engine oil myths that people still fall for. Let's dive in. Myth number 11. Additives and treatments improve oil performance. Marketing tricks often overpromise on performance gains. You will hear oil additives extend oil life, improve lubrication, and boost engine performance. But do they work? Not the way you think. Modern engine oils are already engineered for maximum performance. They contain balanced additive packages to fight corrosion, reduce wear, and maintain viscosity. These formulas are tested and refined to work with specific engines. Adding extra chemicals can disrupt this balance. Some additives thicken the oil too much and cause sludge buildup. Others weaken the oil's protective properties, which leads to higher friction and premature wear. Instead of helping, they can do more harm than good. There's a reason engine manufacturers warn against aftermarket oil treatments. These so-called miracle additives aren't magic potions. They won't make your oil last forever or transform basic oil into a premium-grade lubricant. If you want the best oil performance, use the right oil for your car. Stick to what your manufacturer recommends, whether conventional or synthetic. No magic bottle will improve a bad oil choice. Extra chemicals aren't necessary and could cost you more in repairs. Myth number 10. Only use the manufacturer's oil brand. First, do not confuse brand and specifications. Your car doesn't care about the logo on the bottle. It just needs the right oil. A few drivers tend to believe only the manufacturer's oil works, and that using another brand voids the warranty. That's not true. As long as the oil meets the required specifications, API, ACEA, or SAE ratings, your engine is perfectly fine. Here's a little secret. Manufacturer branded oil is often repackaged oil from major brands. The car company doesn't make oil. It just puts its label on it and sells it at a higher price. So, what really matters? Check your owner's manual. It tells you the correct viscosity and certification you need. That's what protects your engine, not the brand name. Choosing oil is like buying medicine. You don't need the flashy name, you need the right ingredients. Stick to the correct specs, and your car will be fine. Next time someone tells you only the manufacturer's oil works, tell them the truth. It's a myth. Simply get quality oil that meets the requirements, and your engine will run smoothly. Myth number 9. Use thicker oil for a high-mileage engine. Ever heard old engines need thick oil? Sounds smart, right? Wrong. That advice could wreck your engine. Engines today aren't built like they used to be. They have tighter tolerances and advanced systems that rely on the right oil viscosity. If the oil is too thick, it won't flow properly, and critical components like variable valve timing can fail. That leads to poor performance, more wear, and costly repairs. Thicker oil also struggles to move through modern oil passages. During cold starts, it takes longer to reach key engine parts, increasing friction and early wear. Instead of protecting the engine, it starves it of lubrication. If your engine is burning oil but not leaking, switching to thicker oil isn't always the answer. Instead, use a high-mileage synthetic oil. It's slightly thicker than regular oil, but formulated to reduce burn-off and protect seals. Throwing thick oil into an old engine isn't a magic fix. In many cases, it makes things worse. Stick to the manufacturer's recommended viscosity, and your engine will thank you. Myth number 8. Having too much oil in the engine is okay. Too much oil in your engine will cause cavitation. That means the crankshaft starts whipping the oil like a cake mixer. The result? Foamy, aerated oil that can't lubricate properly. Your engine depends on oil to reduce friction and keep parts cool. But when the oil foams up, the pump struggles to maintain pressure. Worse, it can turn the oil into vapor instead of liquid. That means your engine isn't getting the lubrication it needs. How would you feel drinking a milkshake through a straw full of air pockets? Instead of smooth flow, you get sputters and gaps. That's what happens when your oil is full of bubbles. And it's a recipe for disaster. Running an engine without oil will destroy it in minutes. But overfilling it? That's almost as bad. The crankshaft's movement whips the oil into foam, making it useless. Bearings wear out, parts overheat, and your engine could seize. Many don't realize that overfilling is one of the costly oil change mistakes that ruin your engine. Avoid this mess by always checking your dipstick before adding oil. Stick to the recommended level. More is not better. Myth number 7. Synthetic oil is only for high-performance vehicles. Synthetic oil benefits all types of cars, not just high-performance sports cars. Whether you drive a sedan, SUV, or truck, it offers better protection, lasts longer, and performs well in extreme temperatures. Unlike conventional oil, synthetic oil doesn't break down as fast. It stays stable in scorching heat and cold, keeping your engine running smooth and efficient. If you live somewhere with harsh winters or blazing summers, synthetic oil helps your engine handle the extremes. Synthetic oil also reduces engine wear, which means fewer repairs, better fuel efficiency, and a longer engine lifespan. That's why many car manufacturers now recommend it. It cuts friction, improves efficiency, and extends the time between oil changes. Fewer trips to the shop? That's money saved. So, don't think synthetic oil is only for race cars. It's a smart choice for any vehicle that needs better protection and longer-lasting performance. If your car can use it, switching to synthetic is a no-brainer. Myth number 6. If you switch to synthetic oil, you can never go back. It is difficult to know where this myth originated, but it is untrue. Many car owners think that once they switch to synthetic oil, they're stuck with it forever. That's simply not how oil works. You can switch back to conventional oil anytime without harming your engine. In fact, many oils are blended with both synthetic and conventional right from the start. Synthetic oil has advantages. It resists friction, protects against wear, and performs well in extreme temperatures. It also helps keep the engine cleaner and may improve fuel economy. However, it's also more expensive, so some drivers prefer conventional oil. Here's what actually matters: your manufacturer's recommendation. If your car came with synthetic oil from the factory, stick with it. The engine was designed for it. But if your car uses conventional oil, you have options. You can switch to synthetic, switch back, or even use a synthetic blend. Your engine won't mind. Myth number 5. You can save money changing your own oil. Vehicle owners usually take their vehicles to a shop or a quick and affordable oil change location for convenience. After all, who wants to crawl under a car, get an armpit full of used oil, and battle a stubborn oil filter? Oil changes are a must, and the industry thrives because most people prefer to let the pros handle it. But some drivers are brave enough to get dirty. They believe changing their own oil saves money. Sounds smart, right? Wrong. In many cases, a professional oil change costs the same or even less than buying oil and a filter yourself. Shops get bulk discounts, so your savings vanish fast. And that's before adding tools, gloves, a drain pan, or even a proper jack. You also risk your safety. If your car needs lifting, one mistake with a jack stand could be deadly. A shop has the right equipment to do the job safely and efficiently. And here's another perk. Mechanics check more than just oil. Do you need a tire rotation, brake inspection, or new filters? They handle it all in one visit. DIY oil changes will not save you money, especially when you factor in time, tools, effort, and risk. Sometimes it's smarter to let the pros do it. Myth number 4, dark oil is bad oil. Some people think black oil is dirty and useless. They assume it's no longer protecting the engine. But here's the truth. Dark oil isn't bad oil. Engine oil naturally darkens as it does its job. It picks up dirt, soot, and impurities from the combustion process. That doesn't mean it's failing. It means it's working. If oil stayed clear, it wouldn't be trapping contaminants, which would be a real problem. Color alone doesn't tell you if the oil is still good. Instead, you should focus on viscosity and mileage. If the oil feels too thin or sludgy, it may need changing. Otherwise, stick to your manufacturer's recommended service intervals. Want a sure answer? Oil analysis is the only way to know if it's broken down. But for most people, the best rule is simple. Follow your manufacturer's service interval. So don't panic when you see black oil. It's doing exactly what it should, keeping your engine clean and running smoothly. Change it on time and you'll be fine. Myth number 3, change oil every 3,000 miles. This old rule has been around so long that it's practically car culture. It's almost like a rite of passage. A teenager gets their first car and someone, usually dad, hands the keys and says, "Take care of it and don't forget to change the oil every 3,000 miles." It sounds like solid advice, but it's a myth. Changing oil that often won't hurt your engine, but it won't help much either. What it will do is waste time, money, and perfectly good oil. Instead, check your owner's manual. Most modern engines last 5,000 miles or more between changes. Honda recommends 7,500 miles. General Motors, using its proprietary Dexos oil, suggests 10,000 miles. BMW, with synthetic oil, extends the mileage to 15,000 miles. Oil change frequency depends on your car, not a made-up rule. If you tow heavy loads, drive in extreme heat, or race your car, you might need more frequent changes. But for normal driving, 3,000 miles is overkill. Myth number 2, synthetic oil leads to leaks. Early synthetic oils sometimes conflicted with old engine seals decades ago. Yet, this myth still refuses to die. Modern synthetic oils do not cause leaks. They protect better than conventional oil, resist heat, reduce friction, and keep engines cleaner. So why the confusion? Here's the truth. Synthetic oil flows more easily than conventional oil. Its smaller molecules can find existing leaks that thicker conventional oil might have masked. But that doesn't mean it creates leaks. If your seals and gaskets are in good shape, you have nothing to worry about. However, if your engine has worn seals, synthetic oil might reveal the problem sooner. But the leak would have happened eventually, no matter what oil you use. The real issue isn't synthetic oil, it's worn-out gaskets and aging seals. Switching oils won't magically damage your engine. If you notice a leak after switching, your engine already had a problem. You don't need to fear synthetic oil. It lasts longer, protects better, and keeps your engine cleaner. If your car leaks after switching, blame the seals, not the oil. Myth number 1, oil filters do not need to be replaced every oil change. Your oil filter traps dirt, sludge, and metal particles before they reach your engine. Over time, it can become clogged, restricting oil flow and forcing the engine to work harder. The result? More wear, overheating, and even engine failure. Imagine a vacuum cleaner bag. The fuller it gets, the worse it performs. Oil filters work the same way. They're designed for one oil cycle only. and keeping an old filter defeats the purpose of fresh oil. Besides poor efficiency, you risk damaging the engine if you continue using a clogged filter. Dirty oil can't lubricate properly, leading to friction and wear. That's why experts recommend changing the filter with every oil change. The filter has been working hard for all those miles, catching contaminants, blocking harmful debris, and preventing tiny metal particles from circulating. By the time you're due for an oil change, it is saturated with gunk. Leaving it in is like showering and putting on sweaty clothes. Pointless. Skipping this step won't save you money in the long run. Still unsure? We covered this in depth in our video. Do you need to change the oil filter? Every oil change? Oil myths are everywhere, but you know better now. What's the wildest one you believed? Comment below, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more.